All right. Happy Sunday to you all. All right, let's see what we got going on. We've got Kirihiko in the house. Mod Prime. Guten Abend, Kirihiko. What's this contraption? How does this contraption work? Oh, duh. There we go. That would help. Sehr gut. Who else? Who else? Ignite Comics, Daniel J. Bosco. I see Nova Prime X. Spence New 52. Left Hand Curse. New name. Greg Kozenko. Panama Games. Dennis 44. Killer Kovacs. Wolfie Poo. Thanks for the sub. Brabart 471. All right. Let's start things off with a bang. A quick giveaway. So this one was given out to someone during the holiday stream. I was doing a lot of time sketches, and this particular winner did not respond to the mods inquiries on Discord or the stream. So we're gonna re-give it away. It'll be to anyone that's in chat right now. So uh, I know some of you guys tune in at your leisure. This is to reward the people that are on time, like myself. All right, so let's see. Uh, I think you just have to have had said something in chat for the last 5 minutes to win. Level 3 complete. I'm not sure what we did, but in the meantime, while we wait for Nightbot to load up, Francis Pet, thank you very much for the sub. 29 months running. Let me load this up here. We also have, oh, we have Crispy Egg Roll. Good morning, Crispy. And I don't know if we have PK. PK in the house? Has anyone seen PK? The real Sila. Hello from Austria. Guten Abend. Mein Freund. Ich heiße Jim Lee. Ich bin ein amerikanischer Comiczeichner. Ich bin in Seoul, South Korea, Südkorea, geboren. Hello from your backyard, Worthy. Super creepy. 안녕하세요. Parademon 2759. Sebastien Jean Robbie. Non parle pas. No. How do you say that? Parle pas? No. Parle pas. I forgot how you say I don't speak French. Non parle pas? Francois? There was a way to say it once. I have forgotten. Parle pas? I know there's parle pas. Vielen Dank. The Real Cial. Habe 8 Jahre Deutsch studiert. In der Hochschule und auch in der Universität. Je ne parle pas français. That's it. Je ne parle pas. Je ne parle pas français. Parlez-vous français? No. Why he, again, trying to charm us again. What do you mean, again? Stimmt. No, no habla español. Sorry. Du sprichst auch ein bisschen Deutsch, Bronil. Sehr gut, ausgezeichnet. All right, let's do this roll. All right. Here we are. Blueberry 627 following since September 30th, 2019. Ah, that's a while. Congrats. So, Blueberry, I'm going to write your name on the back of this. A mod will contact you, and this will go out to you. There is a shipping charge, so if you pass on it, we will re-roll later at another time. Okay. Fantastisch. Guten Nachmittag is good afternoon in German. Yeah, but it's oh wait. Yeah, no, it's evening in Germany. Right? It's like fast halb sechs. No, sieben. Fast halb sieben. Yeah? Or how do they say quarter after? Is it quartal? No. Viertel? No. Viertel sieben? Nein. Zehn nach sieben? Yeah. There is a way of saying a fourth of seven or fourth of eight. Can a German speaker tell me? How do you say 7:15 in German? There's a way. I think it's 1/4 7, 1/4 8, something like that. They say 6:30. They say half seven. So half an hour in front of seven. So halb sieben means 6:30. Viertel nach sieben. That's a quarter after seven. Yeah, Viertel nach acht is 7:15. A fourth of eight. Viertel acht. I knew there was something. It's been a long time. I've forgotten a lot of the nuances of the language. Type Verdand. Yes, that's me. Okay. Prompt Biscuit. It is 1:11 where they are from, somewhere on the East Coast. Prince Premi, how do you say comic book in Korean? Manachek? Manwachek. Manwa. Manga. Manga. Manwa. Manwa. Manachek. Manachek, I believe. Thank you for the bits, Wolf of Mandalore. How important is it for an artist to have creative freedom and ownership of their work? Wow, that's a big question for 100 bits. Very? That's my quick answer. Okay, let's go ahead and start drawing. Uh, bu- 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 bu. All right. So last week we started with this Johnny SOKKO and his flying robot sketch, and I said I would finish it on stream, and I will. So there are a couple things about this that now looking back on it that I don't particularly like. And part of it is this face. It's just not a very cute kid's face. So I'm going to make the eyes, I think the distance in between the eyes and the nose is too much. So I'm going to redo those eyes. That's what I meant to say. And that lower lip is very large, so I'm going to... There we go. Already looks better, right? Yes. All right. Let's go in and finish this piece. Hopefully this will be like an hour or so. And then they'll give me another hour to start another piece. And maybe we'll have a giveaway for a sub. And Havoc 0325. Es ist 12 Uhr. Yeah, 12 o'clock. Yeah, but I was asking whether, how do you say 7:15? Viertel acht. Drei Viertel acht is 7:45. PJ Beiser, good to see you. All right, so So Bronil, thank you very much. Hidden Noob Gaming, Tooth, When It Rains, Wolf of Mandalore, Francis Pet, Ducifer, Dr. Ucifer, 5000, Crispy Egg Roll, Grand Admiral Bertus, Externed Ache, Rob Art 471, Wolfie Poo, Waihi, Steel Gun 01, Emperor Elric, Russell Seath, This is Patrick, Kirihiko, Joey the Saint, Get Down Moses. Oh, they have all subbed and support the stream. Thank you very much. All right, here we go. We got a 4 marker here, and I just realized I need to be able to see, so I'm gonna grab some glasses. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at this. This was a very quick. I just dropped in some black shadows and some grays using a dry brush, and see how it's dark here and then gets light and then dark again. It's kind of a weird gradation. So I'm going to basically match or color correct the shadows, and by that, just basically, if you were doing like a pencil drawing, you go, all right, this is the darkest area, this is the second darkest area, this is the next darkest area. And so I'm just going to go through and just adjust the gray tones, right, to my liking. And I'm also going to turn the form here to kind of help that thigh turn that shape so it doesn't look so flat. Okay. And the way I make it rounder, and these render lines like this. Counting is just a word. I know in what French, like they don't know how to say, they count to 60. So I think I've covered this before. If I do, forgive me. But I think they count to 60, and then if it's 70 or 80, when you get to 80, they say 60 plus 60 and 20. Can someone confirm? Hi, Emmanuel. I wish I followed you before 2020. Yeah, you missed a lot. The heyday of the stream. Gosh, at the peak, I think I was streaming like 3 days a week or some crazy thing. There's a lot more nonsense. And the sketchbook, the first and only sketchbook we done, captures a lot of that kind of the early days of the stream and the people voting on what I should draw and stuff like that. We'll get back there eventually. It just ended up being very time consuming. But if someone could drop that link to the sketchbook, you haven't gotten it. It's kind of a cool memento of the first couple years of the stream. All the sketches that were done. And there are some fairly silly ones in there too. Some things I've never drawn before. All right, so you can kind of see what's happening here. The goal is this core shadow is supposed to be the darkest area, and then as it turns, you see some lighter gray because it's reflected light off the ground that's coming up and basically lighting up the bottom part of that thigh. Right? Light turns, gets to the core shadow, and then the reflected light basically illuminates the bottom part. Does that make sense? Yo, Jimbo 007. There is a sketchbook for hopefully for the charity pieces that I did. Just have to put it together. COVID has really kind of slowed things down quite a bit. But yeah, we should probably do that. We should go ahead and probably take pre-orders. PK is the mod 2 handle that has PK shown up. See here. Oh, 80 is 40 times 20 times 4. Even crazier. All right. Got a pencil, an eraser. Okay. And so he's like this gray color in the show. So I was thinking of going in with a pencil and laying down a base coat. And what that allows me to do, right, kind of push him back to the background more, right? So this leg will be more representative of the final piece. And this is a 4 marker, which is probably a little too thick for what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to switch it up, go find a thinner one. Here's a 3. Here's a 005. This is the thinnest one they make that I know of. So you can see kind of the difference. The thinner they get, the more they approximate a pencil point in terms of thick. It's hard to distinguish a 005 from a dark pencil lead itself. So that's good if you're trying to create more of a gradation. I said graduation. Okay, but that's what I'm trying to do. Just shows a little more finesse. You can already tell like how much more finessey it feels, right? And also, yeah, one other thing. Oh, Poop Kid is here. Let's give a shout out to Kirihiko, Crispy, and now Unyets, PK. And what happened? Stream. There we go. Right? Yeah, okay. So, where was I going with this? Well, let's do this first. Oh, yeah. So there is a quote unquote online store. It's in Discord, really. Um, it's it's not a high volume store, meaning there's not like, oh, here's, you know, this piece of merch or this item. It's one-off things, signed books that might be hard to find, um, slab books. You know, for those of you guys that collect signed and slab books. I've got maybe some Empire magazine stuff that I have. So these are more one-of-a-kind, unique items, and PK will put them up hopefully every Sunday. I don't know what the cadence is. So first come, first served kind of thing. So those of you that collect that kind of stuff should check it out. Okay. So you can see kind of desired effect I'm going for, and this will allow me to come in later and put highlights in using the eraser, just erasing the pencil, or using whiteout. And I've got these new whiteout pens I want to try, which I'm kind of excited. There's these Sharpies that I'm kind of buying these colored Sharpies, and I want to test out their ability. The thing about Pentel whiteout sticks is that they're great. The whiteout lasts forever. When you draw a long line, the metal tip kind of breaks up that line a bit, and it doesn't even look like rain because the dits and dats, the dots are so regular looking. It just looks like a line that's been interrupted. And so that's always been a complaint of mine about it. So I'm thinking these Sharpies might give me a less compromised line. The only danger there, of course, is that the lines are too thick. They won't work for me either. I'm making these dark stripes darker by putting gray in them as well. Okay. See how this is coming to life. If you guys don't know who this character is, Google Johnny SOKKO, SOKKO, as flying robot, and you will see what it is that we're doing today. So this is adding gray values, but also color. All right. And it will also push back the robot behind him, right? You can kind of see the impact it's having. Hope you guys are all having a good Sunday or Monday, depending on what part of the world you're in. All right. See how that looks there? All right. Okay. Steelers make the playoffs. Spenny G, I love you, but you know that's almost impossible, right? Don't they have to they have to win and then two other teams have to lose or tie or some ridiculous thing like that? Beliasa, yes. So there's a Just Draw Volume 2 that I know PK is working on. There will be that 60 for 60 sketchbook. So things are in the works. Again, the pandemic kind of slowed things down quite a bit, made it harder for us to kind of physically get together and coordinate some of this stuff. A lot of it, that kind of activity, those conversations, happened around conventions, and as you guys know, those are pretty disrupted. What happened to my eraser? I had pulled one out, and it's no longer here. All right, well, I'll just grab another one. I've been organizing my art supplies. I've been doing this professionally for how many decades, and I still have no system. All right, so now that I've kind of laid the base grays down, I can go in and basically do what I did here, which was just create more values. So a value is a shade of gray. So if that's a 10 and that's a 0, there's a 1, and that's probably like a 3. There's like a 5, 7, 10, 9, 8, whatever, right? So using a very fine marker. The other way to do this, of course, is to take that pencil and just go back over it with a darker, with more pressure. But I'm choosing to use a very fine, in this instance, the finest, the thinnest marker, and crosshatch to get darker, increasingly darker values. And it's going to be darkest here and then get lighter as it comes down. It's hard, I think, for you to see at home, but it's very clear on what I'm doing here. Maybe I'll bring it up so you guys can see this in detail. Yeah. Light, darker, 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 darkest, and then back out. You see that? Sehr gut. Verstanden? Big Boss 138. If that were the case, if my system were no system, I would freely express that, but it really is just due to sheer laziness that I don't have a system. Okay, let's go ahead and darken this value up. When you've created a nice pleasing gray, it's actually very soothing. When you see like this cross hatching, it's very soothing to see it complete. I don't know really how else to express it other than using the word soothing. Maybe it's such a fine pattern of subtlety and joy. But it does bring some dopamine response. And I do feel like, oh, that was gratifying. I agree with you, Clayton. I always go like, well, what's the point of organizing it all? Because once I start drawing it, it gets very cluttered again. But I do find that if it gets too disorganized, then it's a distraction. It becomes very sort of unhealthy or not very inviting to sit down and work. So there is like when I do organize it, there's a moment where it's like, oh, this is great. This feels so good. This feels like everything's in the right place. And then I start working again, and it gets all messed up again. So it's trying to figure out that rhythm between having a active and functional work environment and having something that looks very clean and organized. And I suspect the answer kind of lies in some middle ground where you clean it up regularly. Like this, the logical thing would be to use it and then after every use, clean, right? But usually by the time I'm done drawing, I'm just kind of exhausted. I just want to get up and go to sleep or do something else, right? So hence the problem. Okay. Now, what's interesting is all this fine tuning, the shadow stuff that I'm doing. I don't think I would have done it if I forced myself to finish the last stream. I would have just tightened up what existed and ran with it. But since we're starting fresh, I have new sort of inspiration and motivation to put a little extra time into this. There's also some texture lines here to make it look a little battle worn, right? You guys can see that. Now I've got like a growing numbness here in my left thumb, so that's usually a bad sign. So I have to pause for a moment. So Nova Primex has cheered. How do I know you do not do commercial work digitally, but do you use digital for artwork at all? Just for like design work, right? Color design work if I do, and that I should do a stream where I show you guys how I do that. I basically draw in pencil, import it into Photoshop, and then drop flat colors over it, and then sort of essentially paint, which sort of dig out values and shapes using color. And I find that to be a pretty fun process. So let's do that next time. Okay, let's also cast the shadow of this head. Since I've cast the shadow here, the shadow down here, I'm going to cast the shadow of this head here and see what happens. And then I'm going to cross over into this triangle shape, and I'll have to fix that with whiteout. All right. So with this kind of inking, it's just really about being patient and knowing it's going to take you some time and not rushing it. I think inkers have to be very patient with what they do and realize that every little stroke, even if you can't necessarily see it, it does add up to some sort of cumulative whole that is very pleasing, and have faith in the process that if you approach the work this way, you will get the intended result, even if it's not readily apparent right away. It's kind of like when you're running a marathon, right? Or a long race, you take one step and go like, how is this going to get me to the end? I just don't see it. And but if you just keep running, keep moving, you'll eventually get to the finish line, and you go like, "Whoa, how did I get here?" And I think there's circles there. You know, I'm wondering why this. Sometimes people take differently colored things and just make them sort of invulnerable to shadow. Um, so I don't know if that was the right step because that's kind of a little gnarly, but let's do this. Then it won't look so bad. So that was a commitment there. The finger's feeling numb again, which is weird. It's because I'm gripping the pen too hard, I think. Same thing happens when I work in Photoshop using a stylus or a digital pen. This has become a more involved drawing than I ever intended, which is fine. Sometimes you have a plan for the drawing, and sometimes the drawing has a plan for you. Let's pause for a second. Lucia Ordaz. Ordaz? Do I use a Wacom? I did at one point, but I use a Wacom Cintiq. But you know, I used to try to. It's hard to draw over whiteout. It never really fully dry, so you can just kind of smear it that way. So we can see some of that detail. All right, starting to slowly come together. Okay. These lines are super thin. Might not be visible on the camera. By the way, does anyone here have an experience with 4K camcorders? I was looking at a couple different models for the stream. There's one Sony brand, but it's like 18, 19, it was like 2 grand. I was like, is this worth it? I would not use it except for just the streams. Like, I don't see myself carrying around a camcorder the size of a brick, especially with, you know, phones being where they're at. I would just probably have it set up here in my studio to stream 4K. People are saying not worth it. Coleotopia, yes, I shoot 4K. Yeah. Well, talk to Tim Geddes at Kinda Funny About Camera. Does it let you stream higher than 1080p? It doesn't it? Aren't there 4K Twitch streams? Can anyone? Does anyone know? They're letting select streamers go. Got it. 4K is for YouTube. Thank you, Crispy. That's where I've seen it. That's on YouTube. Got it. Well, then there's no point. There's a part of me that just likes tech. The idea of getting something new. It's a disease. Alright, I'm going to add some nuance to this fist here. Kind of balance out the grays that I've created. Find that core shadow. Go to black on that. And then fade out as that, again, side light, rim light, Pacific rim light. Is illuminating the edge here so it doesn't go straight completely to black. These lines are so fine, sometimes you can't even see them really making a difference, but you know that they have to, right? Like, because if I did this for an hour, it will go completely black slowly but surely. So that is the thinking here. Every little bit helps even if you can't tell. Again, faith that it will eventually make a difference. Right? But the idea is that it just makes it feel a little rounder, more three-dimensional. Right? You can already see it, hopefully. Like this is going to be more black in here. And then this dark shadow will be in black. Well, cross-hatched. And I'm going to go over the visor because I'm going to go back in with white out on that visor. And the helmet, apparently. There's a way to do it so you don't have to do it that way, but it's just more time consuming. And since I already use white out quite a bit, it's just easier to do it that way. Now, some artists, like a Michael Golden, it's rare to see white out on the pieces that he's penciled and inked himself. He's just so good. He'll ink around this object rather than just ink through it and then use whiteout to correct it. It's just kind of marvel at that ability. If you've ever seen a Michael Golden original, and I used to own quite a few, different covers and works of his, and you'd kind of flip through and go like, oh my god, I thought that was an effect that he did using whiteout, and you realize no, he drew it. It's kind of like I heard these stories of like George Perez, and he would draw these elaborate star fields, and apparently rather than just making it all black and use whiteout to do the stars, he inked around every star, so those originals from the 80s or so. If you look at them, apparently that's what they look like. I don't know if any of you guys out there own any of that art, can confirm or deny. But you know what I'm saying? It's like drawing around. I'm going to draw the star and just drawing around this to draw the star. But imagine a whole star field that way, as opposed to just inking it all black in, inking it all with black and then putting white out dots. Or maybe it was that he inked black and then he did the white out. He did the stars with white out, but he did each one. I just don't have time for it. I get a credit card, I just splatter it. I find that when I draw the stars, they tend to look a little too organized in trying to look random. True randomness comes about through pure chance. In general, I find. I'm wondering if anything I'm saying makes any sense. I tend to use a lot of code words, or just assume that you guys understand some of the nuances of art talk. Hello, Uruguay. Good to see you. Okay. So I did dry brush there, which what I love about dry brush, same with like splattering with stars with a credit card, is that there's a fair amount of randomness that is created by just taking a brush with a bare minimum amount of ink and just smushing against the paper and it creating some sort of random pattern. Okay, hold on. Stop for a second. Let my thumb restore itself here. Okay. Let's tell you, I've got the Johnny SOKKO theme song running through my head as I draw this. It's got a lot of horns and it's very old-fashioned. Da, 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 da. It sounds like Russian military music. I'm gonna fix something that's annoying me. There we go. If you Google it on YouTube, you'll see what I'm talking about. Ken Polar, do you do arm exercises or warm-ups? You mean to create these guns? No. Big Boss 138, was this for a friend or were you feeling nostalgic? Well, feeling nostalgic and for a friend, and that friend being me. Love, self-love. No, that's not the word. What is it called? Self-care. Ah. Okay. Um, Narcissism, yes. Viking guns. With great power comes money. Loves spamming. What do you think of David Finch? What kind of response are you looking for? Self-indulgent, says crispy egg roll. A man with an avatar name, crispy egg roll, talks to me about self-indulgence. It'd be better the guy who's asked me about David Finch. Rather than such an open-ended, you should say like, "Do you agree with me that David Finch is a super self-indulgent artist?" You know, help me out. Don't give me the essay questions. It is a stream where I'm trying to engage with folks in chat and draw at the same time. Make it easy. Yes or no. Agree or don't disagree. Right? What are your thoughts on the prospects of peace in the Middle East? And do you feel that with our with less reliance on fossil fuels, that the tensions there up? Like, yes or no? That's what it is. Superhero Somar, do my thesis on David Finch. So I'm waiting for the David Finch person. Let's have a conversation about David Finch. I'm waiting. Emmanuel, David Finch can't draw faces screaming. Who can draw faces screaming? It's trickier than it sounds. With great power comes money. How high would you rank him as an artist? Well, in terms of flexibility, I give him a 9. Uh, Charisma, 20. Dexterity, an 8. But he gets a plus 2 because he has the girdle of quickening. He has a Vorpal pencil, giving him a critical chance of a uh, beautiful piece of art, 3%. Mind you, most people have like a 0.5%, so that 3% is pretty high. His yoga stats are completely different. David Finch has a unending mana bar of blue that extends to the horizon line in 3 dimensions. But I think his best year was 2004 when he won Veteran of the Year, and he won the batting title that year, the Triple Crown as well. How well would David Finch do in a hot dog eating contest? It depends. Talking Canadian hot dogs or American hot dogs? He had that amazing 2012 Australian Open performance. He came in with that 3B pencil, really hot, like immediately, like surprised a lot of us. And then he quickly converted to the Micron fives. Um, but his were unique in that they were aged, they're a little dry, so they acted more like threes. And then he finished it off with a six sable Winsor Newton brush, half diluted ink to create this awesome gray effect. And then bam, came in with this white out, just really picked out all the highlights. It really surprised the judges. Even the Russian judge gave him a 10.0. Friggin' amazing. That was probably his best year. Hmm. uh, Stone Cold Snake 316. I don't know why you're going to the hospital. Hopefully, nothing too serious. With great power comes money. He idolizes Jim, but frankly, who doesn't? That is very kind, uh, dramatic. Um, but I jest, and I jest because David Finch and I, we used to work in the same studio back when he worked for Top Cow. We all had we shared office space, Mark Sylvester and I, in San Diego, and David Finch was there, Joe Benitez, Jeff Scott Campbell, Brett Booth, myself, Scott Williams, Alex Sinclair. So there were many adventure with David Finch. Wow, it's been an hour of just cross hatching and adjusting gray values. Who said drawing was fun? This is kind of like watching paint dry, except you're putting on the paint. So it's a little more exciting than watching paint dry because you're actually putting the paint down, but you are still kind of moving at a very slow speed. As physics, physics. Why do you wear a headset just for the microphone? No, so I can look cool. I'm streaming, so I should look like I don't know why. I have cold ears. Um, did we ever figure out why Stone Cold 316 is going to the hospital? Can he say? Hopefully nothing too serious. Mike Turner was never part of our studio. He would come down and visit every now and then, like business meetings. Um, but he was not a regular. That epic gamer look. That's right. That's right. He said he has COVID pneumonia, says Mars Crisis. That is not sounding good. Cross contour. Where do you put your camera so it's not affected by your desk shaking? Um, it's on its stand over my shoulder, so it's not connected at all. Like it's like on a boom mic stand right here. Can't see it. So Stone Cold 316, my heart goes out to you, man. Uh, I I don't know if I could even ask. Like, are you vaxxed? Is this? Do you have pre-existing conditions? How old you are? Like I said, very personal, but um, I feel like all those things would have some impact as to how this would go. Why so serious? Hello, Jim. Hello, Jim. Ein gutes neues Jahr wünsche ich dir. It's a workout on the mouth. Hello, Jim. Ein gutes neues Jahr wünsche ich dir. I also wear headphones because it allows me to hear myself speak, so I can improve my German. It's on a tripod on a mount. That's correct. Kirihiko saying so. Flugel Ninja. Sometimes I don't even see what you wrote. So sometimes I'm ignoring people. Other times I am generally not seeing things. Um, oh yeah, Domson 75, 50, yeah. Ich wünsch. So why did you make it a passive, or what is it called? Why did you flip the subject? Wouldn't it be ich wünsch dir ein gutes neues Jahr? It's kind of easy German sometimes. Gutes is good. Neues, new. Jahr, Wunsch, wish. I, dir, du, you. I don't know. Seems easy to me. Auto, book. I twirl the paper around so that all my lines don't start and end in the same spot. Fogelston 2312. Have you always been this smart, or do you have a lot of work to get there? I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not. Um, all right, what else is going on here? This is Patrick. My heart goes out to you. Currently have people that are not doing well in my family too, so it is very stressful for sure. Very stressful. Okay. Um, let's see. Let's try to finish this up. All right. I can still hear his theme song in my head. Da 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 na 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 na. So I apologize. My favorite part of the drawing is the lack of feet, says Superheroes from my art. I'll draw you a foot right here, buddy. uh, I collect all the feet in a separate sketchbook. It's 10,000 pages long. Oh, shoot. I gotta finish this kid. Who put this kid in here? Alright, let's add a little detail to this kid so that he doesn't look so neglected and forlorn. How's everyone doing? I read some heartbreaking stuff that's going on in chat with some of you folks. Entering year 3 of this pandemic, if I had known it was going to take this long, I would have set different goals for myself. PJ Beister, to be honest, I'm prepping for a really long, boring winter. You know? Kiriko, you having sketches of eyes too? No, you have the sketchbook of eyes. It's been a long 3 years. Yeah, I'm ready to go nuts. It's tough psychologically. I'd like to consider myself a little stronger than just in terms of mental resiliency, but there's got to be a breaking point for everyone, right? It's just like, come on, when will this be over? It's just funny because when this all went to a lockdown, what, early March of 2020, right? Almost 2 years ago. It's like, we'll be gone for a week. All right, maybe 2 weeks. And I was like, 2 months? Okay, rest of the summer? The rest of the year? Oh, all of next year. Oh my gosh. All right, so, oh, his eyes. Got it. Eh, maybe it'll look less alien-like if I put a little hair down. Artemis Prime. I apologize if this sounds impolite, but do the contours of the leg kid's right forearm, right leg create a tangent? Right forearm, right forearm. Yeah, probably. Super Egypt Man, Super Egypt Man. Oh, Super Egypt Man. Yeah, that would be a cool name, except they decided to call him Flying Robot. Okay, let's finish this up. Artemis Prime. Yep, you're correct, sir. Some are worse than others. All right. There's a lot of ink loaded up on this brush. The question, I left the kind of white rim light on the rubble. Now I have a decision there. Like, see how that's all black there, almost to the edge. This is not, though. But because this is white in here, I feel like I can probably go all the way to the edge and see what happens. And I didn't do it initially because I can give myself that fallback position, doing it one way and then seeing how it looked. It's harder now to go back to what I had before. So I hope you like it. I'd be an amazing contractor for like a home building. You know, I couldn't figure out how many windows to put on the wall, so I just came up with this. I hope you like it. Hmm. Superhero swim arts. Look better before. Thanks, Clayton. Uh, I liked your first girlfriend better too. That'll be my new message on any commission. Hope you like it. Uh, that would have been funnier. I couldn't figure out how many windows to add, so I added doors instead. Um, yeah. All right. Let's. So that was like. This is what's it called? What's it called? Concrete with. I'm losing my mind. Rebar. Thank you, the Moid. Rebar. Yes. I'm such a great contractor. I couldn't figure out how many windows should go on this wall, so I added more rebar. That one looks dangerous, Johnny. Watch out. Don't get too close. I'm sure there's a pattern or formula for making it look realistic. I can't figure it out. I think he's got a black belt here. Inking with a brush. Yikes. And then I want that forearm to pop a little bit. So let's add some black shapes in there. That's unusual, yeah. Let's smear it. That's another quick way of making gray. Just smear the ink. Alright, so like here's his kneecap. And then underneath here's the... So we're just going to smear it down. It's faster than creating cross-hatching. You need your smearing skills to be probably at a 82% or higher to be able to do that. Right? Okay. Here, this is a 4. And I'm just going to make this kneecap look hopefully a little bit more like a kneecap. With a little bit of rendering. Just pulling it all together. Look at Johnny's abs there. Okay. All right, let's get caught up on some of these notices. Nyburn, Mace Maharika, Mal wieder ein sehr schöner and unterhaltsamer, oh my gosh, mal wieder ein sehr schöner und unterhaltsamer Stream. Vielen Dank dafür, Jim. Once again, a very wonderful and unterhaltsamer, engaging, I think, is the stream. Many thanks for that, Jim. Stone Cold Snake 316. We will be praying for you, dude. Finch has a great stream on Monday nights on YouTube. um, I believe it. Guy's super talented. Stone Cold 316. We'll be praying for you, buddy. Right now and later, thank you very much for the bits. Ben Sketchin has gifted, or no, has sub. Thank you very much for 11 months. And Tiger Mine has gifted a sub to Bruce Wayne Brady. That's very kind of you. Double Western has resub. Thank you very much, Double Western. And Oni Patel. Any interest in doing more streams on other media styles? Yeah, so I'm going to do one showing you guys how I do color work on the computer. Maybe I should do one where I'm actually painting, set up a cam in front of a large canvas, and then I'll do another one where was there another one? I don't know. Here, let me put this down so you guys can see what it is that we're doing. Hopefully you guys can see this whole thing. You know, I'm going to take a picture of this and put it on Discord so you guys can see the whole thing. Okay. All right. So let us do the finishing touches. Get some white out here. All right. All right. Where am I going to put the white out? Let's get some eyes on this too. What happened to the eyeglasses I was wearing? Wait. You are seeing a man slowly losing all his mental faculties before your own eyes, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's see if we can do this here. Oh. It would have been helpful to do that on camera, but you guys get the gist of it. Okay. Keep that consistent. And all right. that up a bit. Make that chin stand out a little bit. And I don't like how that turned out, so I'm going to white that back out. And then add a wrinkle. And that line there, that line there. Off camera. Hey, Brian Denham, good to see you. Apple AirTag on the glasses. That would be probably a good thing. Zeppy, why not white paint with a white brush? So the weird thing is acrylic white out paint is not opaque enough for going over the black areas. You would have to do multiple coats. This stuff is whatever it is. It's like industrial white. White out paint just does not cover with one coat or two coats like it does. It's frustrating. In that to get it liquid enough so that you can paint with it, you have to dilute it. When you dilute it, it doesn't cover up the black areas as definitively. So that's why. Trust me, I've tried it. There used to be something called Pro White, which is what we used to use, and but it just was hard to find and would dry out like super fast. So I'm going to let this dry here. And then I'm going to fix the helmet. Apply some splatter. So. Contrabida TV. Watching how you slowly create the art is really satisfying. Thank you. That's why I'm here. Slowly create. Yeah, you know, maybe I will color some of these black and white pieces that I've done, like the Ultraman. Although someone did one colored online, it looked pretty good. I forgot to post. I've just not been active on social. It just too much going on right now between work and family stuff. So I apologize if I'm not out there in force online. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's see if I can. All right. Alrighty. I think I've taken this as far as I can go in terms of black, the black lines and shadows and whatnot. This shape in here looks strange to me. So I want to, I think I want to go to black in there. I'm just going to use, I don't want to mess up my brush. I just dipped my finger in ink and there we go. Let that dry. Casual hero. Did I pencil some of the grays on the robot? Yes, I did. Let that dry faster. I just feel like it creates a more pleasing shape if it's all black in there. Right? It was like this weird white pocket there. All right. Now let's create. So I've got this, but I also have dirty fingers, which means that when I say splatter, the black will mix in with the white and create gray. So I'm going to have to splatter with this finger. So just know that's not my usual go-to finger. Okay. The way it works, this is a slanted table. I take a toothbrush, put it here. The stuff will puddle and start coming down. So let's go ahead and so I get there, take the in, and now I can only probably get like 1 or 2 spritz sprays before the bristles have bent, so they don't give me that clean splatter. I just realized that the other day after decades of doing this that, you know what, I should probably have a couple of these toothbrush eye, lined up so that, oh my god, so that I get that nice clean spray. I don't know about that splatter, but I have to live with it. As you do too. We all have to live with our mistakes. Things that, oh, can't see this. Let's move this over here. I blame it to the fact that I'm spritzing with my index or my ring finger. It's hard to see that. The problem is as the whiteout gets into the bristles and it no longer comes off. It starts getting absorbed by the bristles. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with. Gut genug, as they say. All right. And now for the stars, I need to find like more of a credit card. Let me see if let me try this thing. It's like a watercolor thing. It has a bounce to it. Put the white out straight on there, and let's see what happens if I give it a flick. It's giving me too much of a pattern. I want something that looks more like dots. So let's try this. Things with different bounce. Anything with a little bit of play to it will allow you to get the effects that I'm talking about here. Okay. And then let's do a little hand selected stars. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, I thought these down here were a little too, the splatter down here was a little too intense. And so I want to take that down a bit. And so you just go in with like a 0.5 and just circle around. Just make some of these a little smaller, break them up. Push them back a little bit. Like the biggest one should be down here, right? Okay. And then these, what I don't know what is going on up here, but I'm going to break these up as well. There's a lot of white out there, so I'm fighting with it with this marker. The smart thing would have been to let it all dry and then do what I'm doing now, but I'm impatient. It's just breaking up some of these clusters that are a little too close to one another. Okay, I think I'm done. Okay. Andres Lalas. Cool. Welcome in. Thanks. All right. Let's take a picture and share it online here. Oh, you know, it'd be good. So if I signed it. 2022. All right. So if you want to see the finished piece before I put it on Instagram, head over to our Discord channel. That's where you will see it. Oh, I didn't say to everyone. Oh well. You'll figure it out. It's there in the thread, in the general thread. All right, so we are closing in on noon. So let us thank Kirihiko, Mod Prime, Crispy Egg Roll, and Poop Kid, our three mods, three-man, three-person team that they almost always show up to support the stream. So thank you guys for being here, dedicating part of your weekend to the crew. Also check out the Discord channel that is linked to this. It's a great supplement to this live stream. And also the PK online store that has unique items, one-of-a-kind items. PK is the one to help you out with that. I don't know what I'm going to do with the sketch. Maybe a silent auction. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll just hold on to it for now. And we are going to go raid someone. That means we're going to shower someone, another creative online, with our undivided attention as we move from this stream to another. So I appreciate you guys hanging on for that. That's always a lot of fun to kind of show others some gratitude and appreciation. And I will most likely be here next weekend for another stream. And let's go ahead and do the digital color art stream. If it's not next weekend, the weekend after, we'll figure it out. But it will be a different kind of stream. I'll take something I've done in pencil, show you how I do that, take it to Photoshop and color off that. Okay, so thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. It was really ein schönes Erlebnis. Ein schönes Erlebnis. Ein schönes Erlebnis. Alle. Okay, see you guys later. All right, ciao.